Thousands across the corridor heard the wail of storm sirens Monday afternoon as devastating winds and tornadoes barreled through.
But in the Benton County town of Garrison, those sirens did not sound, and that prompted questions from some of our viewers. In tonight's continuing coverage, this story, Behind the Silence. CBS 2 News reporter Mugo Digwe live in Garrison tonight with more. Mugo.
Yeah, Tiffany and Scott, I spoke with the Garrison fire chief today, and he told me he and his department knew the siren wouldn't sound, so they did the best they could to protect their neighbors.
Standing tall amongst Garrison's light poles, trees, and buildings is the city's only storm siren.
The siren's always been there. They replaced it here within the last year or so, and that's really quite a siren up there compared to our old one.
Paul Schallhase has lived in Garrison for 72 years. For more than 50 years, he's served his community as a volunteer firefighter. He says the siren can be a lifesaver.
Oh, it's very, very important because that's the only way of telling these people know that there's going to be a storm.
But for weeks now, the siren hasn't worked.
After the storm on June 16th, I contacted the vendor who installed the siren the next morning. They were here that day, took a look at it, and determined that it had been struck by lightning, and that's why it would not function.
Unfortunately for this community, that's not a quick fix.
They immediately ordered parts. They came back a week ago and tried to repair it, found there was more damage than they thought.
So the fire department took matters into their own hands Monday when they heard about the incoming storm.
Two of us got into one of the fire trucks and drove around town blowing the whistle.
It was dangerous driving out there. And it really helped the people in town realize that the storm's coming and it was time to go to the basement.
That plan B wasn't perfect, but it might have been enough to prevent a deadly outcome.
The fire chief says partial functionality of the siren was actually restored at 10 a.m. this morning, but they'll keep working until it's fully restored. Cover in the corridor in Garrison. Mugo Digwe, CBS 2 News.